was dead.
Dead? Yeah, dead.
Totally dead.
Absolutely dead. Completely dead.
Utterly dead.
Undeniably.
Painfully.
Excruciatingly.
Irrefutably
Dead.
Got it?
No.
Oh my goodness, how do you not understand?
Sorry.
Well, we need to explain it.
Yeah, you need to understand.
There's no point going any further if we can't get this simple
But immensely important.
fact straight.
It's okay. I've got this. Are you listening?
Yes.
What's the deadest thing you can think of?
Disco?
Hey, I'll have you know, disco's coming back.
Oh, be quiet.
Yeah, disco. That'll do. Music. Marley was deader than disco. Ooh.
Gosh, that's dead.
I know, right?
He died yonks ago too.
Like back when my great-grandmother was alive.
Which was ages.
And he was like proper dead. Stone dead.
Yeah.
Although, I should say, I can't speak for all stones everywhere.
That's fair, but Marley was so dead that if lightning struck him, he wouldn't even notice. That's how dead he was.
Got it?
I think so.
Phew! Right, next bit.
Scrooge knew Marley was dead, and Scrooge would know.
They were business partners and one another's only friends.
Like all good businessmen, they thought only of business.
From the moment they woke,
To the moment they closed their eyes. They would think about business while they were eating.
Money. Business. Money. Business. Pardon me.
And when they were asleep, they would dream about glorious business.
Wonderful money.
It's coming.
and going,
To get to sleep, they would even count bags of money instead of sheep.
1 bag of money.
2 bags of money.
3 bags of money.
4 bags.
Oh, 5 bags of.
they would think of business even when they were doing their business.
Don't go in there. Maybe give it 5 minutes.
They were the most important men in their business, and I think they knew.
Because they were indeed
Rich and privileged.
But one day, one Christmas Eve morning, no less,
Marley didn't wake up.
Marley? Marley? Get up. It's time for business. Marley? Marley? Marley?
and what do you think Scrooge did?
Upon finding his one and only friend and business partner as stiff as a board and as dead as disco,
On Christmas Eve, of all mornings,
did he call for a doctor? An ambulance?
Did he cry for help?
nothing of the sort.
Scrooge did what he'd done every day since their business began all those years before.
He got dressed.
he had a mean, stingy breakfast.
Of last night's porridge.
All cold and slimy with thick, lumpy bits.
Ugh.
And he trunched through the cold, crisp snow.
Along Kelso High Street
Past Kelso Abbey.
and to his office in Bridge Street.
And only then, only once the working day was done, did Scrooge deal with the particularities of death.
Called the doctor.
And saw to a stingy funeral proceedings.
He was the only mourner.
Save the men employed to dig the grave.
Scrooge did not tip, because did we mention
What?
Scrooge was mean?
Mean? No, you didn't say. How mean?
Oh, he was like so mean.
Miserly.
Selfish. Scrimpy.
Measly.
Penny pinching.
Despite his massive fortune, he would scrimp all he could.
He would kick a child just for £1.
What?
All right, maybe not, but he was still mean.
He would use tea bags 5 times before throwing them out.
Tastes fine as long as you give them a good squeeze.
He would cut up newspaper and use it to wipe his bum.
I'm not wasting money on quilted loo roll. Oh, that's quite rough.
He would even wear his pants inside out to save on laundry.
What?
Smells fine to me.
Oh!
He had a thin, cruel, pointy nose.
With teeth always clenched together.
If you saw him, he'd totes creep you out.
He had an angry face of cold fury, one that said,
Get out of my way.
He liked the cold.
he thought it gave him power.
He seemed impervious to all weather.
Snowstorm, sleet, hail, or hurricane.
None of it fazed Scrooge.
No one liked him.
No one tagged him in anything.
Or liked his photos, 'cause he never put any up.
No one came to see him or ask him how he was doing if they passed him in the street.
Because everyone knew.
He wouldn't answer.
He liked pushing people away.
And one thing Scrooge hated
More than anything.
Was disco?
Hey, what's wrong with disco?
quiet. No, not disco. One thing Scrooge hated
More than anything.
was
Christmas!
I hate Christmas.
But why? Why hate Christmas? Everyone loves Christmas.
not Scrooge.
Why?
No one knew.
People like to guess.
Maybe it was because that's when Marley died. Maybe it's because one year someone stole all his presents.
Maybe it's because
No one knows yet. But that's what this story is about.
What story?
This story, the one we're about to tell.
Oh yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting.
It'll be great. It'll have ghosts and carols and twists and turns and romance and excitement and danger and disco?
No.
Oh, please.
Well, maybe. We'll see how it goes. But all that's important right now are the two things we've explained.
Which were?
Scrooge was dead and Marley was mean?
No, you've got it backwards.
Sorry, dead was Scrooge and mean was Marley.
No. Mean was Scrooge and dead was Marley. Or Scrooge was mean and Marley was dead.
But most important,
Marley was
dead. 7 years later, on Christmas Eve. Wait, what's that sound?
A clock.
Nah, Scrooge was too mean to have a clock.
Fine, we'll cut it. Cut the clock.
there. Better?
Much. 7 years later, on Christmas Eve.
Scrooge was in his counting house, counting money. Every other business in Kelso had closed at lunchtime, but not Scrooge and Marley's. Yes, the sign outside still bore both their names.
Despite the fact Marley had been dead out of disco so long.
Scrooge was too mean to pay for the paint to change it.
Sometimes folk called Scrooge Scrooge,
And sometimes they called him Marley.
but Scrooge didn't care. It was all the same to him. And in the corner, his poor clerk, Cratchit, was hard at work and doing his best to warm his fingers with the battery on his battered old iPhone.
A good sort, Cratchit, if not the cleverest.
But a heart of pure gold.
Oh no, his battery died. Maybe, Cratchit thought to himself, if he was really sneaky, he might plug it in without Scrooge noticing.
Slowly, he tiptoed, closer and closer to the socket he got, but
Where are you going, Cratchit?
To plug my phone in, sir. I'm using the battery to warm my hands.
And how is that working for you?
Not well, sir. Could I put the heating on?
Put the heating on.
My fingers are so cold. I'm finding it hard to type.
And who is it that pays for the electricity?
You do, sir.
And your wages that keep the roof over your rather large and hungry family's head? Who pays them?
You do, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Now back to work.
Merry Christmas, Uncle Scrooge.
Oh, not again.
Standing in the doorway, grinning from ear to ear, was Fred, Scrooge's youngest nephew.
His only nephew. In fact, his only living relative.
Scrooge and Fred weren't close. Not at all.
But not for want of trying on Fred's part.
Fred loved Christmas, and every year he would reach out in the hope of rekindling family bonds. It never worked, but it didn't stop him trying. And Scrooge found Fred very trying indeed.
I said Merry Christmas, Uncle.
And I heard you.
Isn't there anything you want to say to me in return?
A few options sprung into Scrooge's mind.
But none of them bear repeating here.
Oh, what is that you're holding?
This? Oh, this. It's an elf on the shelf.
A what on the what?
I know it's Christmas Eve, but I thought it would pass the time if you and Cratchit hid this little fella somewhere around the shop.
Why in blazes would I do that?
Oh, he keeps an eye on you, you see, and reports back to Santa on whether or not you've been naughty or nice. I bet you've been good, haven't you, Bob? How's your family?
Very well, Fred. Thanks for asking.
And Fred pressed a secret note into Cratchit's hand with a sly wink.
Cratchit nodded, understanding, and put the secret note into his pocket to be read later.
An elf on the shelf? Have you finally lost your senses?
He's been watching Soph and me all through Advent.
Soph?
My beautiful wife, your niece-in-law. You still not met her.
Marriage is a waste of money.
Come round for Christmas dinner tomorrow. It's going to be ace. We'll play Pie Face and Cards Against Humanity, and then Exploding Kittens. And then we'll stuff our faces with chocolate and fall asleep on the couch watching Doctor Who.
It sounds dreadful, apart from exploding all the kittens.
Look, it doesn't matter how often you turn me away. I'll keep coming back.
I've noticed.
Christmas is a time for family, and you are all I've got. So I'll leave this little fellow on the shelf and wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart.
Get out!
And a Merry Christmas to you too, Cratchit.
And don't come! Oh, why won't everyone just leave me alone?
And into Scrooge's office came three very merry, very giggly ladies.
Fresh-faced and rosy-cheeked from the frosty December air.
Rattling collection boxes and laughing and talking and...
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Glad tidings at this joyful time.
Scrooge beheld them coldly.
Now, you must be... No, don't tell me. You must be... I bet you are... Mr. Scrooge.
No, Janet, you're wrong. I bet this fine gentleman is none other than Mr. Marley.
Oh, how fun! A bet! How exciting! Yes, a bet! A bet! How much do you bet, Agnes?
Oh, well, how's 50 pence sound?
Yes, 50 pence! 50 pence! With all proceedings going to the collection for the poor, of course.
Of course, Effie. Where else would it go?
So it's settled. Go on, sir. Put us out of our misery. Are you, as Janet so boldly guessed, Mr. Scrooge?
Or are you rather, as Agnes proposes, in fact, really, Mr. Marley?
Well?
Marley's dead.
Oh, sorry about that.
That was scary.
I nearly dropped my handbag. Nearly had my tic-tacs all over the floor.
Sorry about Mr. Marley. Was it sudden?
It was 7 years ago, this very night.
Oh, well, Mr. Scrooge, I won't beat about the bush. were collecting.
It's ever so cold at this time of year.
And everyone deserves to make merry.
So we're going around Kelso to ask everyone
to dig deep into their pockets
and arrange a slap-up feed for those who can't afford it.
It'll mean so much to them. A wee bit of relief, you see.
What can we put you down for?
Nothing.
Pardon us, Mr. Scrooge, for a second there. We thought you meant to be put down for nothing.
When what you meant to say, of course, was...
that you want to remain anonymous?
No. I mean, I won't donate a penny.
Not even a penny?
I'm not a monster. I pay my taxes, and far too much of them, if you ask me. And since you are asking me to part with above and beyond, to provide for those unable to provide for themselves, can I ask, are the food banks open?
Yes.
And the homeless shelters, are they functioning?
To bursting.
Then hurrah! Their business is booming. Now, I must turn my attention back to mine.
But Mr. Scrooge...
I am sure you're about to eloquently lament the need for food banks in this modern era, and claim that many would rather die than attend the shelters. Well then, let them. The world is too full as it is, and the state of the economy is not my business. I trust our government to put my taxes to good use. I don't like Christmas. And frankly, ladies, I don't like you. Cratchit, show them out.
And with that, Scrooge sat and immersed himself in his work.
While the ladies stood, shaking in disbelief at the despicable utterings they had just witnessed.
Cratchit approached them slowly and apologetically.
And placed a crumpled note into Effie's hand.
Take this, Effie. Sorry, it's all I've got.
Bless you, Cratchit. And how is that lovely child of yours? Getting better?
Oh, she's a little better every day.
Cratchit smiled bravely and did his best to sound convincing, but Effie, Janet and Agnes could see the truth.
Merry Christmas.
Cratchit went back to his desk and he swore, though he scarce thought it possible, that the office had grown even colder. Not another word was uttered till the bells outside struck 6.
Your jacket, Mr. Scrooge. Will you be lighting a candle tonight? For Mr. Marley, sir. It's the anniversary of...
I know what day it is. Not worth a candle. Why are you loitering? You're normally out of the door and a mile away before the bells stop chiming. Oh, you want something. What?
Well, it's just that, you know, if you'll remember, we said that it being Christmas...
Oh, stop groveling. You want tomorrow off, but a day's pay for it.
Is that all right?
Of course it's not all right. It's nothing short of theft.
It's only once a year, sir, and it's the only chance that my family and I...
Spare me the soliloquy. I'll be sick on the carpet. Go, rob me blind, but you'll be in an hour earlier on Boxing Day. Clear?
Oh, yes. Thank you, sir. Oh, and Mary...
What?
Good night, sir.
Blooming idiot.
Scrooge locked up and began to make his way homeward through the crisp night air.
The fog and darkness was so dense that the street lamps hardly lit the way. He passed carol singers and late-night shoppers, burdened with shopping bags and giddy with Christmas spirit.
And Scrooge hated them.
He thought about his silly nephew and his elf on the shelf.
He thought about the sillier ladies with their collection boxes and nauseating festive cheer.
And silliest of all, his ridiculous clerk, who Scrooge knew didn't even have 2 pennies to rub together.
The money he would waste on Christmas, It was tantamount to lunacy.
Finally, Scrooge reached his ancient mansion.
His was a massive old house. Years ago, it housed a whole family. And many servants too.
But now it housed only Scrooge, who lived in one room.
To keep the heating bill to a minimum.
He looked at the lion door knocker adorning his door. It reminded him of someone. Who was it?
He reached for his keys and suddenly laughed out loud.
Oh yes, it looked a bit like Marley.
Oh, a candle. For you, Marley. As if you would waste one on me, wear the shoe on the other foot.
Scrooge put his keys in the lock, but suddenly...
What?
As Scrooge stared at the knocker, his eyes widened in terror.
The iron lion contorted and stretched and began to look even more like Marley.
Only Jacob Marley, alive and in terrible anguish.
Scrooge blinked at the horrible apparition. He rubbed his eyes. But when he looked again...
The lion was just a lion.
Oh, nonsense. Stuff and nonsense.
Hours later, Scrooge's house was locked and bolted, and Scrooge was in his dressing gown eating porridge.
The last of yesterday's porridge, warmed in the microwave for 15 seconds.
Before Scrooge pulled the plug back out to save electricity,
The porridge was cold, lumpy, and very salty, just how he liked it.
More salt, I think.
Yuck! The room was once the servants' quarters, but the bells on the ceiling had been silent for years.
the room had everything Scrooge needed.
A bed.
An old chair,
A lamp,
A bucket.
Yuck!
a sink,
a microwave, an old black and white TV,
An ancient Hewlett-Packard PC with dial-up internet.
And a noisy old radiator.
everything electrical was off or unplugged, except for the lamp.
And the radiator was timed for 30 minutes a day.
The 30 minutes were up, and Scrooge was enjoying the last of the warmth.
When suddenly the TV began to flicker, though it wasn't plugged in.
And just as suddenly, the Hewlett-Packard PC switched on, though it wasn't connected.
And in the same instant, the microwave bell started to chime, though Scrooge had personally pulled the socket from the wall himself.
What is this? What's going on?
Then Scrooge saw a face materializing on the TV screen.
A face he knew very well.
Marley, how did you get on the telly? Oh, now you're on my Hewlett-Packard PC. And in the microwave? What's going on?
The lamp went off, and Scrooge was plunged into blackness. And then...
Oh.
He heard an awful sound.
Of heavy chains being dragged up the stairs.
Getting closer.
Closer and closer to his bedroom door.
Until suddenly, the ghost of Jacob Marley walks through the bedroom door.
Marley, is that you?
Yeah.
Why are you screaming?
Because I am in hell.
No, you're in Kelso. Sorry. So what? You're a ghost?
Don't you believe your eyes?
Not when they show me nonsense like this. It's a nightmare, that's all. Stuff and nonsense. I see right through you, Marley. Get it? I said, I see right... Sorry. I do believe in spooks. I do believe in spooks. I do.
Silence. We don't have long. Do you see my chains?
Yes.
How they weigh me down and make my slightest movement a gargantuan effort.
Yes.
I made them myself by my actions. They are our punishment.
Chains and safes and piggy banks. Surely not a punishment, a veritable treasure trove.
I failed, Scrooge. I thought I was devoting my life to something important, but I missed everything.
You should be proud. Our business is doing so...
Business? Helping people was my business. Making sure everyone had enough was my business. But I squandered my life on gain. And Scrooge, I see a chain on you that makes this one look like a paper chain.
Around me? Where?
You can't see it,
Oh.
but I think you feel it.
Oh.
It will grow heavier as you approach your own end.
Oh.
Stop cowering and listen. It is not too late for you. I put in a good word for you.
Oh, you always were a good pal, Marley.
Don't thank me yet. 3 ghosts are coming.
3 ghosts?
Yeah. Big, scary ones.
I think I'll pass, thanks.
Listen to what they have to say, or your fate will be worse than mine. Expect the first at 1, the second at the same hour the next night, and the third the night after before the last stroke of midnight.
Wouldn't it be a more productive use of ghost power to do some kind of meeting wherein we can all brainstorm together and... I do believe in spooks. I do believe in spooks. I do.
Remember me, Scrooge.
And with that, the window opened, and the cold December air enveloped the bedroom.
The ghost, dragging its massive chains along with him, took off into the night sky and joined a cloud of uncountable phantoms.
The phantoms were bereft, all desperately trying to help the poor and needy,
but without the power.
Scrooge, look, see!
Scrooge shut the window in terror and fled to the safety of his old sleeping bag.
I do believe in spooks. I do believe in spooks. I do believe in spooks. I do.
Scrooge slept a terrified sleep, pulsating with fraught and fevered dreams.
Full of lonely phantoms and terrifying spectres.
He woke with a start at the sound of the distant church bell.
He sat up in his sleeping bag, his brow drenched, and his heart beating like a drum.
The room was now so cold, icicles hung inside of the window.
A long snotty icicle hung from Scrooge's nostril, and frost had collected along his eyebrows.
He waited.
And waited.
Nothing.
Ha! Just a dream. Ghosts. Stuff and nonsense.
Satisfied, Scrooge turned around and shut his eyes. But suddenly, the room was bathed in a magnificent light. And there, before him, stood the strangest creature Scrooge had ever seen.
It's hard to describe, but here goes. It was like a 7-year-old, but with Dwayne Johnson arms.
He had really limp, old person hair, but the face of a baby.
The sound of its breathing filled the room. 1 minute soft, then rasp, happy.
At once neither old nor young.
Neither happy or sad.
At once sombre and joyful. Mischievous and mournful.
Ancient and wise.
Excited and childlike.
Are you the ghost Marley said was coming?
Yes.
You're late.
No, the clock's fast.
Damn. What sort of ghost are you?
A Christmas ghost. Of Christmas long ago. Your long ago, specifically.
Mine? And what brings you here?
You. Important lessons lie long forgotten and buried in your past. For your welfare, it is critical that you remember them. Come.
Out the window? I'm not a ghost. I can't fly.
With me you can. Here.
And suddenly they were nowhere and everywhere at once.
Up in the air and in the stars and beneath the deepest ocean.
For a split second, Scrooge could see the whole of time and space.
And then, just as suddenly,
What the? How did you do that? Where are we?
Long ago, you know the schoolyard, don't you? Yes, you were a boy here. See your friends come running. You know them each by name, yes? No, they cannot see you. They are not aware of us. These are but echoes of things that once were. Come, there is much to see. See the parents collecting their children home for the Christmas holidays. See how happy and excited they are. How glad to see each other and to be together. But wait. In the classroom, one boy waits alone.
It's me. I don't remember being that young.
You've chosen to forget. Such a lonely boy. What father leaves his child at school at Christmas?
A busy one. Father was a man of business. He didn't need me running around his ankles, distracting him. Business
More
is...
important than family.
No. Never mind. And anyway, I wasn't lonely.
Really? Let's fast forward a few years.
Oh, look, I'm older.
But still alone. But not for long. See who comes.
Big brother! My big brother!
Fran?
My little Fran. See her smile? I had forgotten her smile. How could I forget my little Fran's smile?
How indeed. Listen.
What do you mean I have to come home? What about Dad?
I got him to change his mind.
You did? How?
He's changed. He's so much nicer now he's older. He even laughs sometimes.
Laughs? Dad?
Mostly at the Labour Party, but he's warmer and friendlier and he doesn't do business all the time.
That is different.
I know. And the other day I asked if you could come home for Christmas and he said, yes, fetch him at once. So here I am.
Fran, I'm so happy.
So am I. It's going to be the best Christmas ever.
Quite a woman. Such a strong heart. But always a fragile creature. She died a woman and left, I think, a child?
One. My nephew, Fred.
What's that on your cheek?
Nothing. I've got a cold, that's all. Might put the heating on when we get back. Just for a minute, of course.
Of course. Come, there is more.
Where are we now?
It'll come back.
Who's that sat at work? Oh, it's me. I know this place. It's...
Fezziwig's coming, Scrooge. Are you working?
I'm just finishing up.
But it's Christmas Eve. You know Fezziwig. If he catches you working, he'll put you under the mistletoe with his daughters.
I'm nearly done. I just have to...
Scrooge, what in blazes are you doing?
Working, sir.
On Christmas Eve? Not in my counting house. Richie?
Sir?
You are hereby promoted to Sheriff Richie.
Yes, Mr. Fezziwig.
You know what to do.
I do indeed, sir. Scrooge, You are charged with the very, very serious...
Unforgivable.
The very, very serious, unforgivable...
Unpardonable.
The very, very serious, unforgivable, unpardonable crime of working on Christmas Eve.
Treason, treason, boo, hiss, boo, boo.
Sir?
Sorry, go on.
Well, how do you plead, Scrooge?
Guilty, guilty, guilty as sin. Look at his face, as guilty as can be. See him squirming and...
Please, Mr. Fezziwig, the accused must enter a plea if this is to be a fair trial.
Oh, very well. But get on with it. Admit your guilt, young Scrooge, so that we can get to the punishment.
Well, Scrooge, are you innocent or guilty?
I suppose.
Yes?
I have to plead.
Yes?
Guilty.
I knew it! Treason, working on Christmas Eve, when everyone knows that Christmas is the time when I, Mr. Fezziwig, of Fezziwig & Co.
And I, Miss Fezziwig, of Fezziwig & Co.
I'm delighted you've joined us, dear.
And I'm delighted to be joining you. May I?
You may.
You know fine well, young Master Scrooge, that Christmas is when my big brother, Mr. Fezziwig, and his 16 beloved daughters like to thank you and all our employees for their hard work throughout the year.
I couldn't have put it better myself, sister. It is the one time when I ask my many honourable clerks, who I am so lucky to have work for me, to switch off their computers and put their phones away and party like it's 1999 with the Fezziwigs. Girls, my delightful daughters, how wonderful you all look. Now, how would you react if I were to tell you that young Master Scrooge here has been caught hard at work on Christmas Eve?
That's right. You all know the punishment. Get in line under the mistletoe.
Sheriff Ritchie, escort the prisoner to the place of punishment. Now, music, cakes, merriment.
A full day of business wasted. And all that money wasted on food and decoration.
You're wrong, Ghost. It wasn't wasted. We felt so loved, so respected. You can't imagine the happiness such a small gesture can do. He had the power to make our working day a pleasure to... Oh.
What?
Nothing. I was just thinking that maybe I should have let Cratchit plug his phone in, just for a minute.
Of course. That wasn't your only moment under the mistletoe that evening, was it? Watch.
I'm quite cross with you, you know.
Oh, Belle! Beautiful Belle! How could I forget Belle?
How indeed?
It wasn't my fault, Belle. He can't be working, and the punishment...
We all know the punishment for working on Christmas Eve. That's the problem.
What do you mean?
Perhaps you meant to get caught, so that you could kiss every one of Fezziwig's 15 daughters.
16. Sorry.
And is there one in particular you have your eye on?
No! Gosh, it's not like that. Look, I really was working. There's this massive deal that if I could just close it, it would make us such a lot of money.
There you go again. Always business, never fun. Relax. Oh, Scrooge, I'm teasing you. I know you don't have your eye on any of the Fezziwig girls.
I don't. I mean, you do?
Yes, because you're always looking at me.
You've seen me? Oh, sorry.
Why? I like it when you look at me. I just have one question. When are you going to ask me?
Ask you what?
Look up. We're under the mistletoe.
Golly.
Come, we must leave.
But I want to stay. There's a Kaylee.
I am running out of time. Quick. We are some years later.
I know this place. I know this park. This is where... No. Oh, not this.
You and the same girl. You are still young, but see how cold you've grown. And Belle has changed too. She has grown sad.
Please, I beg you.
You must.
I don't know why you're acting like this.
Don't you? Really?
Nothing has changed.
Except you.
I'm just busy.
You're always busy. I didn't see it at first, but you're not the same man who proposed to me, and so, take it.
Your ring? No, it's yours.
If it doesn't come with your love, I don't want it.
I've never asked for it back.
Not in words. But you love one thing more than me, and I cannot compete.
What?
Money. I'll always love you, Scrooge, and I hope your business will comfort you in times of sadness. I hope you're happy in this life you have chosen.
I have seen enough, Ghost. Take me home. I can't take any more. Please, take me home.
Don't blame me. This is your past. I had no part in making it. I'm only showing you what was.
And with that, Scrooge found himself back in his sleeping bag.
He sat up in a shock and blinking in the darkness.
The ghost was gone.
The icicles still hung in the window.
The Hewlett-Packard PC, the TV, and the microwave were silent as the grave.
He took several deep, gasping breaths before grief enveloped him like a tidal wave.
And he fell back on his mattress and wept bitterly.
For a life that might have been.
At the sound of the bell, Scrooge woke with a start.
Oh, 1 o'clock again. What? Have I slept through the whole day?
He looked around his room for any sign of the second ghost, but there was none.
But just then, he noticed a light from under the bedroom door, leading to the hall.
And a voice, more of a bellow, shouted,
"Scrooge!"
Scrooge gulped and fearfully made his way to the door, which flew open.
And a large hand grabbed him and pulled him into the hall, which was lit up like a Christmas wonderland, the likes of which Scrooge had never seen.
And standing on a massive pile of the most amazing party food ever was the ghost.
He looked like Hagrid, basically.
Yeah, like a cross between Hagrid and Santa. And he held a massive torch in one hand, like the Statue of Liberty. And his laugh,
such a laugh.
Come on, have a good look. Feast your eyes, eh? Ever seen anything like me before?
I can't say I have.
Great! Aren't I?
Yes?
Look at all this stuff! All this delicious, tasty stuff! Cream buns, Christmas cakes, mince pies, ice cream, holly, mistletoe, red berries, ivy, turkeys, geese, game, poultry, meat, pigs, sausages, oysters, pies, puddings, fruit and punch, pop, milkshakes, you name it, and I've got it.
Can I have some?
No. Too much to see and so little time. Come on, Scrooge. Time's a wasted.
And again, they were everywhere and nowhere at once.
Before materializing on a busy Kelso street.
Oh, I don't think I'll ever get used to traveling like that.
Know where we are?
Of course. My office is just over there. Why show me this? I know my own town.
Ah, but you don't know it's on Christmas. I am the ghost of Christmas present, and this is the present Christmas. Come see how the people from your town spent this wonderful day.
And the ghost showed him all the festivities going on behind closed doors.
All the happiness and merriment.
Children tearing open presents.
While parents sat back and smiled.
And everywhere they went, the ghost sprinkled shimmering dust on the people they encountered.
What is that you're sprinkling?
Festive cheer. It will make every meal taste better. Every moment of happiness more joyous. For poorer people, most of all.
Why?
because they needed more. Do you know this house?
I think my clerk, Cratchit, lives here.
Come.
Oh, I can't.
Why not? You pay the wages that keep this roof over this rather large and hungry family's heads, don't you? Don't worry, they can't see us. Come on.
That was absolutely scrumptious, wasn't it?
Yes, Polly. What a splendid feast.
A round of applause for the chef. Stand and take a bow, please, Mum.
Hey!
Oh, you're too kind, Polly. I think the sprouts are overdone.
No, the sprouts were the best bit, weren't they, Tim? Oh, yes, Polly. I could have eaten another one. It's a pity we only had one each.
Oh, but what a one, eh, Tim?
Oh, it was the best Brussels sprout I've ever had in my whole life.
Who's the charming little one?
That's Tim.
A pleasant child. I like the cut of her jib.
What's your sprout secret, Mother?
One I will take to my grave, Peter.
That potato was amazing too, Mum.
I'm glad you liked it, my lovely. And I'm so glad you were allowed the time off to join us.
It's not really time off. It's a 0-hour contract, so...
What your mother means is Christmas would not be the same without you, Martha.
Really wouldn't. I agree.
Thanks, Polly. Thanks, Tim. And I wouldn't have missed that Brussels sprout for a whole day's shift.
All this talk about Brussels sprouts. Didn't they have a chicken or a turkey?
That sorry pile of bones gives you an idea of its size. Enough for a family of two, maybe? But this hungry lot, aren't you ashamed of yourself?
Peter, a bit of good news. Mr. Scrooge's nephew Fred popped into the shop today, and he pressed this note into my hand. It's for you, Peter.
For me?
How exciting.
Read it out aloud, Peter. I wish I could read.
What does it say?
My dearest Cratchit, I know my uncle won't let me speak to you directly, so please forgive this note. I wonder if your clever lad Peter might be interested in coming to... He's offering me a job?
He is.
That's wonderful, Peter.
Congratulations, Peter.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Peter.
Just think, if I save my wages, next Christmas we might afford 2 Brussels sprouts each.
And 2 potatoes.
Oh. A toast to my boss, Mr. Scrooge.
Stop right there. I won't hear it. That poisonous, evil man. He treats you so unkindly, pays you so little. It's one thing hearing his name spoken, but toast his health. I won't. Never.
Don't fight him, Mum and Dad. It's Christmas.
We're not fighting, my lovely. We're just having a disagreement.
But you're right, Tim. It is Christmas, and at Christmas we wish everybody well.
Exactly. Every single one of us.
So, for Christmas's sake, I will allow your toast. Go on, before I change my mind.
Thank you, my lovely. Everyone, to Mr. Scrooge.
From every one of us.
That little Tim, she doesn't keep well, I see. What's the issue?
The doctors are trying to work it out. Like your sister. A strong heart, but a fragile frame.
Nonsense, Spirit. With recent advances in medicine, I feel sure we
The
can...
problem is not the cure, Scrooge, but this family's access to it. Your doctors and nurses are worked to their very bones and paid so badly for it. I tell you, unless this family's fortunes are changed, there will be an empty chair at this table next Christmas. But look on the bright side, there will be an extra Brussels sprout to go around.
No! No! Where are we now?
A different party. One to which you were invited. But no, you're not here. What a surprise.
Fred! And who's that sitting beside him?
Sophie, your niece-in-law.
Wow, he's punching above his weight. And who are these people? Not more family I don't know about.
They're called friends, Scrooge, and they're here because they like each other. Now, shut up and listen.
Okay, my turn. Right, go.
Are you an animal?
That's a tough one. Am I an animal? No, not really. But I am alive.
Easy. You're a tree. He's always a bloomin' tree.
Ah, not this time I'm not, Fred. Try again.
So you're not green then?
No.
Are you red?
No.
Blue?
Yes, I am as blue can be.
Nonsense. What's blue and alive?
Oh, shut up.
It's impossible.
Shut up!
Are you as big as a man?
Bigger.
As big as an elephant?
Not quite so big, but I'm much bigger on the inside.
What? Whatever do you mean?
Bigger on the inside?
I think I know.
You do? What is it?
What's blue and alive and bigger than a man, but not so big as an elephant, but much bigger on the inside?
Oh, I get it.
So do I.
Say it together then.
He's the TARDIS.
Oh, of course. I used to like Doctor Who, before they ruined it by shooting in colour.
Come on, Sourpuss. Let's go.
No, I want to stay. Just one more round.
Having fun?
My turn.
Okay. Soph, are you an animal, a vegetable, or a mineral?
Oh, I'm definitely an animal.
An animal, eh? Are you as big as a man?
I would say about the same size, though I'm not a friendly one.
Not a friendly man, eh? Are you famous?
Oh, I'm infamous, rather.
Famous the world over, or just locally?
Locally.
Well known around the borders?
Particularly well known.
Ah, are you fierce?
Yes.
Are you rude?
Yes.
Are you hideously unpleasant to everyone you meet?
Most hideous.
Then I think we all know. Let's say it together.
It's me. I guessed it first. I win. It's me. Wait.
Mr. Scrooge!
It's me.
Now, come on, everyone. I must speak in my uncle's defense. His father was never nice to him. Sent him away when he was only 5. Spent most of his Christmases alone in a drafty old school. Mum loved him dearly, and, well, they say he was never the same after she died, like a light went out.
Poor man.
Thank you, Soph. So I check in on him, and I wish him well, and I try to do what I can to right his many wrongs.
Like employing Cratchit's boy, Peter.
That boy is a genius. I'll be calling him Sir one day.
You're a good lad, Fred. A good lad.
Look, if we can't wish Scrooge well at Christmas, when can we?
You're right, Fred.
Yeah, you're right.
To Uncle Scrooge, Merry Christmas, wherever you are.
To Uncle Scrooge.
My time draws near. Come.
Where are we now?
Nowhere.
What's happened to you? You've grown so shriveled, so old.
My time on Earth is brief. It is almost up. I must leave you here. My brother is on his way. Heed him.
Your roads, they're moving. Is there something alive? Are they, yes, children? A girl and a boy? Oh, they are in a terrible state. Whose are they?
Yours.
Mine?
They are the children of your society, and yours more than any person walking on the earth.
I am want. I need. No one helps. No one helps. Help me.
I am ignorant. I am apathy. I don't know. I don't care.
I don't
Beware both of them. But most of all, beware this boy.
But don't leave. Who will take care of them?
Your taxes, surely.
But look at them, so in need, poor things.
Aren't the food banks open? The homeless shelters?
Gone. All gone. And now I'm nowhere. And all alone.
But suddenly, Scrooge wasn't alone.
Suddenly, Scrooge was very much in company.
But in the company of something horrible.
Something so horrible and damnable that it was almost beyond description.
It was huge.
It was gaunt.
It was midnight personified.
It was absence.
It was death.
It was absolutely terrifying.
And Scrooge fell to his knees before it.
Please, I take it you are the ghost of
Christmas. Yes, to me.
I'm so scared of you. But I know you mean me well. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Then, please, let's get this over with. Lead the way.
This way.
Cash converters. You've brought me to cash converters. Oh, that's made me feel better. You are a spirit of taste. I love cash converters. Bargain Central. Lots of stuff people have pawned because they are in desperate times. I got my Hewlett-Packard PC here, and my TV, and my microwave. It's so cheap. Glad to see it's still in business in the future. I'm in here all the time. I might come in at any second. Hey, that's my cleaner, Mrs. Dilber. What's she doing here?
All right, Joyce, let's see what you got. Put it on the counter.
I got nice stuff, Kev. That's for sure. See.
Oh, nice. A Hewlett-Packard PC. But here, now this is a return.
What do you mean?
I mean, we sold this one not 5 years ago, and it was old then. Look at it. 10 quid.
£10?
What is it? Windows 7? A tenner's too much.
All right. Tenner it is.
That's a bit of a coincidence.
What about this?
Ooh, a microwave.
What's it worth?
Well, it is a good one. A fiver.
A fiver?
It's a mess inside. Look, lots of cold, lumpy porridge. Big cleaning job.
Another startling coincidence.
All right. Well, what about this?
A black and white TV. I haven't seen one like that since I sold one here 10 years ago. I only got £6 for it then.
That's how much I paid for mine.
So, how does one sound?
£1? That's only 16 rotten pounds. Ugh. Here, how about I throw this in and we round it up to 20?
Oh, a thermal sleeping bag.
Hey, that's like mine.
Very good quality.
Just like mine.
And you've washed it.
Had to get the stench of death out of it.
You don't mean this is the one he died in?
I do.
Oh, you're a terrible woman, Mrs. Dilber.
And you're a cheap swindler, Kev.
£20 for an entire life. Well, whoever he was, he had impeccable taste and a shrewd eye for a bargain. But come on, Spirit. I don't believe there is no one in this town that has no emotion at the news of this man's passing.
This way.
And suddenly they were in another house.
It had little to no furniture.
And a woman Scrooge did not know was scrubbing the kitchen table.
She looked sad, with lines of ceaseless worry on her brow. Suddenly the door opened, and a man Scrooge didn't know either entered.
Andrew, you're back. Well, what did he say?
You better sit down, Mary.
Oh no. Don't tell me he won't give us more time to pay. He's going to take our house from us like he said he would.
It's good news, Mary. Sit down.
Okay, I'm sitting. Tell me the good news.
He's dead. He's actually finally dead.
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so ecstatically happy.
I get it, Spirit. You mean that if I'm not careful, I might end up like this poor fellow, mourned by none and hated by all. Please, let me see some tenderness connected with the death.
And suddenly they were back in Cratchit's house.
But it was a very different Christmas.
No laughing.
No giggling.
They weren't even sat at table.
All were gathered in the living room, silent and mournful, except Cratchit and Tim.
Cratchit's house? But why are they so sad? Where is Cratchit? And where is that little Tim?
The Spirit pointed up the stairs.
That way.
Up? Why? Is Tim in bed? Is she poorly?
That way.
All right, Spirit. I'll obey. Up the stairs I go, and there is Cratchit, sat beside the bed where Tim. Is she asleep?
No.
What? Spirit, no.
My wee girl. My beautiful, tiny, gorgeous wee girl.
Not Tim. Please.
This way.
The Spirit enveloped Scrooge in his cloak, and suddenly they were outside.
The wind blew a gale, and the rain fell in torrents.
Scrooge realized he was somewhere dreadful.
A graveyard? Why bring me here?
No.
The ghost pointed a long, bony finger towards a sorry-looking stone.
Scrooge felt terror stirring within him.
You want me to look at the name on that stone? I can't. I cannot.
No.
The Spirit pointed again, insisting.
Please, Spirit. I get it, all right? I got it back in cash converters, to be honest. I know what it will say. I get it. But surely it's not hopeless. Surely, if I change, I can still change the future. Save Tim. Do some good, I promise. If I get one more chance, I will be a changed man.
You must know.
Okay, Spirit. I'll look.
And sure enough, the stone read, "Here lies Scrooge."
It's you. Ho, ho, ho.
And with that, the grave opened up before them.
The Spirit grabbed Scrooge with its bony hand. It picked him up and dropped him in.
And down Scrooge fell. Down and down.
Further and further into the darkness.
Into the bowels of the earth. Until...
Suddenly, Scrooge was in his room.
He was in his thermal sleeping bag, and all around him were his things.
His microwave, still encrusted with porridge.
His black and white TV, still unplugged and silent. His Hewlett-Packard PC, still there and not in cash converters. He was safe. He was sound.
I'm not dead. Oh, thank you. Thank you, ghosts of Christmas past and present and future. And old Marley, thank you. Thank you.
And he laughed. Scrooge laughed harder than he'd laughed in many, many miserable years.
I won't forget the lessons you have taught me. You watch me. Oh, I wonder what day it is.
And he ran to the window and threw it open and breathed in the wonderful fresh air.
What a beautiful day.
Below him strode past a small boy. Scrooge called out to him.
Who, me?
Yes, you. What day is it?
You kidding?
Oh, no. I'm old and doddery. Please. What day is it?
It's Christmas Day, you numpty.
Oh, I haven't missed it. The ghost did it all in one night.
You flipped, mate.
No, wait, please. Will you run an errand for me? There's 50 quid in it for you.
50 quid? Sure thing.
Here's 100. Careful it doesn't blow away.
Got it.
Now, go to the co-op and buy the biggest turkey they have. And 12 bags of Brussels sprouts. Come back here in 15 minutes and I'll give you 100.
Flippin' heck.
The boy sped off and returned in 12 minutes to collect his prize.
Scrooge instructed the boy to deliver the turkey to the Cratchits and gave him strict instructions to say nothing about who it came from.
And then Scrooge tore like a benevolent whirlwind through Kelso, sprinkling Christmas cheer like the ghosts had taught him. He left generous donations at every charity.
He bought the entire Christmas stock from the co-op and saw it delivered to where the three ladies were preparing their meal for the needy.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Scrooge. Bless you.
No, my friends. Forgive me and bless you.
Bless you, Mr. Scrooge. He went to a church and sang at the top of his voice. And finally, around dinner time, and with the biggest bouquet of flowers in his hand, he called round at an astonished Fred's house.
Uncle Scrooge?
Fred.
Who is it, Fred? Oh my.
Soph, my dearest niece. These are for you.
They're, beautiful. Thank you?
I know it won't make up for missing your wedding day, but I hope this rather late wedding gift might be welcome.
And Scrooge pressed an envelope stuffed thick with cash into a bewildered Soph's hand.
Do you think you might be able to find it in yourselves to forgive a foolish old man who doesn't want to be left out in the cold?
Of course, Uncle.
And Fred said nothing, but burst into tears of joy and embraced his uncle. And they went on to have the best Christmas dinner ever.
Before Scrooge tanked them all at charades.
My turn. Right, go.
Are you the TARDIS?
I am. I bloody am the TARDIS. How the hell did you know?
And then they stuffed their faces with chocolate and fell asleep watching Doctor Who.
The next day was Boxing Day, and Scrooge was early to his counting house, gleefully awaiting the arrival of Cratchit. Presently, looking a little worse for wear, he arrived.
Cratchit, it is after 9.
Sorry, sir. We had a bit of a bigger do than expected. There was a turkey, sir. Such a turkey. My children have never eaten so much in their entire lives, and there was a massive queue for the toilet.
That's quite enough toilet detail, Cratchit.
Sorry.
The thing is, I've had just about as much as I can take from you, so...
Oh no.
I have no choice...
Oh, no.
...than to triple your salary.
No, please, Mr. Scrooge. Don't triple my... What?
Oh, don't triple it, you say? Oh, okay, fine.
No.
Then I will quadruple it.
No, really. What?
Merry Christmas, Cratchit. Merry Christmas. And Christmas is a 12-day season. You shall not work here for the entire 12 days, my friend. It was me that sent that turkey.
You? What, and the Brussels sprouts?
Yes. I am the reason there is such a prodigious queue for your toilet. And frankly, I plan on repeating the offence. Will you and your family join me for dinner this evening?
Dinner?
Yes. I have many gifts to bestow on Polly and Tim and Martha and Peter and your delightful wife. And your wife and I have lots to discuss. I will make you partner, and we should apprentice Martha, and Tim too when she's of age. But firstly, and most importantly, let's head to the pub across the road for a mulled wine or 7 and discuss how I might provide Tim with the proper medical care she needs.
And Scrooge laughed, a hearty laugh, and Cratchit joined in, and tears of joy filled his eyes.
Because, as mad as Scrooge's words sounded, they had the aura of truth.
And Scrooge was better than his words. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, ever, he became like a second father.
And somewhere, all at once, very near and impossibly far away, 4 ghosts were watching and smiling.
And the ghost, who was once fettered in chains and misery, was now free.
Merry Christmas all.
And to all a good night.